Scott, by the time this goes live, you'll be a married man.
I know. Well, my name will be the same, but her life changes forever.
I'm so excited about it.
I mean, I'm pretty game. I just
pretty game.
literally nowhere else to go with that. So
Just say you're excited. And
I'm pretty.
in love with
I just said I'm pretty game.
pretty game.
Pretty game for it.
Right, is that what you're gonna say? It says, do you take this?
Yeah, I got a pretty game.
Yeah, right.
100% completion. I'm gonna have to go with Red Dead Redemption 2 because try as I might, and even though I've put a good, I don't even know, 80 hours into it, I feel like I've barely scratched the surface. That's a good game though in terms of not having, you're never going to finish it because you know that there's always going to be stuff to go back to and stuff to seek out, whether it be the side missions or the different strangers that you can find, or all the hunting things you can do and specific pelts that you can accrue. So that's a good thing.
Nier Automata. It's one I talk about on Chatty Faces quite a lot, but that game is ridiculously long and it is quite repetitive, and although I want to get everything in that game because it is genuinely one of my favorites of all time, it's ridiculously hard to get all the resources you need to craft all the items. And it has one sticking point, which is the fishing minigame. And hey, I'm a sucker for a fishing minigame. They don't call me John the Fishmonger Brown for nothing, let me tell you that. It's great in Far Cry 5, it's great in Red Dead Redemption 2, it's really bad in Nier Automata, and I'm not going to sit there and reel in these fish that are just really obtuse and difficult to catch.
For me, I would have to say, no game ever. I am such like, I love gaming, but I love jumping into new worlds, seeing new things, going to all these new places, killing lots of fun monsters and all that sort of stuff. I absolutely love it, and I love all the different encounters they offer you and all the things like that. And getting as much as you can out of a game, I think that is wonderful, and 100%ing things is very impressive. But modern games, they are just so huge, they are massive, like there is no getting your head around some of the actual vastness of big open world RPGs and all that sort of thing. It's almost impossible. So for me, I kind of want to go in and get as much as I can out of a game, enjoy it as much as I can, do all the fun things, but most of them I'm not really bothered about 100%ing as long as I do everything that I want to do in it. As for specific games, like my actual favourite game of all time that I've played to death, put hundreds of hours into, Oblivion, I've never actually 100%ed it, and the first playthrough I did, which is where I put most of my hours into, I never even finished the main story just because I was messing around with everything else so much. It took me years to go back and actually finish it and do all of the Daedric Gates and all that sort of thing, the Oblivion Plane, and actually freaking finish it. But yeah, I literally went back and then did all the Dark Brotherhood quests again and then did the main quest and that was it. But I don't have 100% over either of those saves, really, and I'm probably never gonna, so what you gonna do?
For me, the game I'd never 100% is a game I love to bits and is, in my opinion, one of the best open world games ever made, which is Just Cause 2. Because I got it with my 360 when I first got my 360, and it was my first proper foray into a world this big. I couldn't begin to comprehend just how big the world was. I played stuff that was open world before, but nothing on this scale. When you zoom out and look at the whole map, you think, wow, this is ridiculous. That was the biggest open world at the time. And I think Just Cause still has that accolade for having the biggest open worlds. But once you finish the main campaign, it goes, right, you're in mercenary mode now, and it shows you your percentage completion. And I got to that point, and it was like, oh, I finished the stories, it's really cool, I've seen the credits, and then it goes, mercenary mode, 36% complete, and it's 36%? What? And then it's a case of going to all of the locations and finding all of the crates, so your weapon upgrades, your armor upgrades, your health upgrades, etc., etc. Doing all of the faction missions, which are horrendously repetitive, because it's always a case of that really badly voiced, massively stereotyped, rather racist engineer you have to escort through a complex.
We've all heard the game's voice.
Yeah, I'm not even going to try and replicate it here, but go and escort them and defend them. Defend me, Scorpio! All this stuff. And it's a great game, it's so much fun. I love going to the all of the military bases, just putting triggered explosive on everything red, standing outside and going, just watching the whole thing go up and get 100% straight away for each location. But doing that over and over again just gets really dull. Most of the time I play Just Cause 2, I just jump on the big motorway across the big city in the fastest cars possible, and then when the exit ramps come up and the divider comes out of the road, I just flip on that and do some twirly shit. in the air.
On the other side, something I'm never ever going to finish, and the first time I remember realizing that I'm not going to finish a game for a bad reason was the first Assassin's Creed's feathers that were just everywhere, and they were all over the roofs and stuff. Yeah, they suck, and it's like, well, when you want to, there's like they're per region as well. Like, who even wants feathers per region? It was bad. And I remember GTA 4 bringing the feather bants itself and doing all the pigeons everywhere. Never going to get them. Even in SpiderMan, I'm not going to get the pigeons. I just don't want the pigeons, to be honest. I'd rather you stop putting them in every fucking game.
I have an admission to make because I love Rainbow Six Siege. I've played hundreds and hundreds of hours in that game. I've been there, done that, seen everything, thermited the walls, been ash-mained until I couldn't bear it anymore. Sorry, this is going to be a bit difficult. But I've never gotten the trophy where you have to kill someone with a breaching charge, which is one of the most frustrating things in that game because only a select few operators have them, and then you put them down on the floor next to someone you wooed, and then you blow it up, and there is nothing more humiliating than being the one person, I imagine, in the planet who still hasn't gotten this trophy, and then have this thing happen to you on no less than 7 occasions. So every time I go into Rainbow Six Siege now, I have the trauma of going in and the anxiety of realising that I could be the next person to get breach and charge and they're getting the trophy. Meanwhile, I'm just here, just sat down, just talking about my problems to you guys and the audience here.
I want to hug you.
Go on. Oh, yeah, hug. There we go. Hugging takes the pain away.
So a few years ago, when I didn't work full time, I had lots of free time and I used to be somewhat of a trophy collector, and that was brilliant. So went from game to game, trying to get all my platinums, but there was one game that I came up against that I just had to, it was the hardest thing ever, like accepting defeat and just, like, I just couldn't bear it anymore. I had to trade it in, and that was, it was actually Deadpool. There's 2 trophies, obviously one being the platinum as well. But there's a trophy for getting something like, it's something like achieve a combo of X amount while doing this, blah, blah, blah. But long story short, to get it, you had to be like unupgraded. And I had obviously upgraded like to the full, and I couldn't get this thing because stuff was dying and I was too good, and it just made me so pissed off. I was like, what is this BS? So Deadpool, yeah, I couldn't be bothered. There was a way you could like obviously restart and unupgrade everything, but I was just like, no. And I traded that one and never got that one.
Secondly is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, which sounds like a really easy one, and I put a lot of time back in the day to get 100% trophy-wise to nail that, and I did Mile High Club on Veteran, which was really, really hard, but unfortunately I missed an achievement because I had the cheats on, because you could get unlimited ammo, and I'd like walking around in just levels with the grenade launcher and shooting people, which meant though I missed an achievement and couldn't unlock it again unless I started a new save, which I obviously wasn't going to do because I'm really lazy. And 3 is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, because that game is huge and I'm not going to collect all those Korok seeds, if that's what they're called, just to receive a shit at the end, Rich. A literal human shit at the end. I'm not doing it. It's humiliating.
As for another, Team Fortress 2. Not a game you think you could 100%, and in reality, no, you can't. There is no story mode, it's solely multiplayer, but as with Steam, they added in tons and tons of achievements for it, and after the years and years and years of updates, not so much recently, but at every update that came out, there's always another bunch of achievements, and right now it's sitting at 520 achievements for Team Fortress 2, and that's from the base game itself and all of the expansions, which have always been free. There are never, I don't think there are any achievements you can only get by putting money into it. There might be for things like the man up mode of Man vs Machine, which requires like a ticket to play. I'm not entirely sure of that, but yeah, 520 achievements. So like I've put a lot of time into Team Fortress 2. I don't play it so much now. I hate myself because I love the game to bits. I just don't play it much anymore. But amazingly, when I was researching this statistic as to how many achievements there are, I actually have 45% of those achievements, which the light is off again. This studio is a pain. But yeah, 45% of the achievements over about 400 hours of gameplay, so that's not terrible. So yeah, but I don't think that anyone has 100%ed Team Fortress 2. You'll have to let me know in the comments if anyone has, but you won't see me doing it anytime soon, I'll tell you that much.
The second one I would like to highlight are the unsung heroes of the PlayStation 4 world, and that is the Digimon games.
Oh my god.
I know, right? Okay, so there's two different kinds of Digimon games, like modern on the PS4, and you've got the Cyber Sleuth games, they're like story games. I got the platinum on the first one. So good, by the way, it's so good. Very grindy, like a good bit of grinding. Good bit of grinding in my Japanese games, I do like that. But the other one is the Digimon World games. Now, these are a little different in that, for some reason, your Digimon die every so often, every 20 days or so, your Digimon just die. And I think that just pissed me off so much that I was like, I can't even keep my trophy run going. My trophy streak was broken just because I was like, no, I'm not getting attached to these Digimon just to have them die. So Digimon World, I believe it was called Next Order, the one that came out recently. So, but yeah, Cyber Sleuth is great, but Next Order can get in the bin.
Right, so I'm actually going to quote myself, the best type of quoting, from 2 years ago when I actually first started working here, because it sums up pretty nicely. 18 quintillion, 446 quadrillion, 744 trillion, 73 billion, 709 million, 551,616 planets to explore. No Man's Sky, go f*** yourself. I didn't want to play it anyway because it's shit.
It's really good, actually. It's good over here.